You got meat. That's what we're talking about today, right?
Oh
meat.
my goodness, this is why I love you so much, Carol. This is why
Because I have meat for you.
Yeah, but yes, do you? But I know that they do. We're talking to Renga and Sophina, the founders of Muslim-owned Butchery, the Meatery. Guys, thank you so much for coming down here. We're going to talk about all... Sorry?
I'm so happy to meet you. I'm sorry. I just...
It's our tagline too. Nice to meet you.
She can't help herself. It won't stop her. I just want you to know it's going to carry on for the rest of her. So it's 2 already, right? She's got 2, right?
I want to describe them. Sophina is very cheery and Renga's quite beefy.
There you go. That's number 3. I'm just going to keep score and remind me to give the final score at the end of this. Carol's on a roll. Carol, look at her face. She's got more coming your
I'm
way.
cut above the rest.
That's +1.
I'm sorry. I mean, they are cut above the rest.
All right, enough. Okay. For now. So, this is a little known fact, okay, Carol, but Renga and me, we got to know each other way back when. It was a short stint of mine in the advertising world. We were in the same ad agency together, Bates Asia.
Was she
Good
so
times.
gila back in the day?
Totally.
Was she already met?
Yes.
Totally.
Was,
And I could stay longer in heels because I was,
God.
lighter then. Lighter. Now, not as long in heels. My feet spinning. And we were on the Heineken account. That was the best account. Everybody wanted to be on the Heineken account. And I was on it. He was on it. Great fun. I mean, he's seen me through something where I'm just like, we're working already. After we work hard, right? We party hard.
Yes.
And then it's Renga having to like save all of us. Save all of us. And like all of us, young colleagues who just let loose a bit too much.
That's what you did back in the day.
Back in the day.
Especially if you work at an ad agency.
But I'm well behaved now.
You're well behaved now. I hate to think what she was like before.
Hey, don't.
Lavinia took market research a bit too far.
That's putting it real nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Renga.
bet
Thank
she
you.
used-
Yes.
I bet she used that line on everyone.
Yes.
I'm doing a little bit of market research.
But the next day there was a lot of learnings. We don't quite remember much, but yeah.
So it's just a line she used. It's not really for work at all.
Sophina was also from the ad agency
That's
as well, and that's how you two met.
Exactly.
You see lah? At least I work hard, party hard. No, this one, work hard, save colleagues, and then meet wife.
Yeah, that's the point for some people. They go and, they work and then they paktor and then they get married and they start a business together, the
This is before
Meatery.
Tinder, Gotta meet at somewhere, right?
So both of you have left the advertising world some years back, and you started the Meatery. How did that all come about? What, one day you woke up and go like, I've had enough of ads. I want to eat meat and
Pretty
sell
much.
meat.
That was pretty much it.
Really?
I mean, we got sick of the long hours associated with agency. You know this, on weekends it's burnt with pitches.
Yes.
And then, we've got a family, we've got 3 kids between us. So, I think it was time for us to consider what the next steps are. And we always knew that we wanted to start something ourselves.
But why
the question
meat?
was what
Yeah.
exactly?
So how did you come up with the Meatery?
So meat has always been a passion of mine. So before I embraced Islam, I was buying meats from other butcheries.
Okay.
But post embracing Islam, I did have trouble purchasing good quality halal meat. So that was the key thing for us. And it's an idea we always spoke about. It's something you spoke about in jest. It's like, hey, if we do something, we have to do something about being a butchery or selling meat. And it's something we spoke about for a good 2 years before we started. Yeah.
Hey, how come when we know each other, I was never offered meat, even though you're so passionate about meat? I feel a bit cheated.
Because now we got cheaper cost price.
But why? But it's diving into a whole new world, not just a whole new business and a new industry. But you did you train for it? Did you get some? So how does it work?
I think that was one of the challenges, right? Because when we started, there was no official course that's very much focused on butchery. You've got like knife cutting courses, you've got chef courses, but none for butchery.
I know a friend, a chef, who went all the way to Australia to get trained.
Exactly.
Yeah. So is that what you did?
So I did little stints, knife skills and all that in the local market.
Okay.
With the butchery part of it, I actually did a short stint in a wet market. So you've got me, yes, those butchers.
What exactly is different though? I need to know. I mean, cutting meat is just cutting meat, right? You should see their faces now. I just dropped this bomb on them. No, it's not just cutting meat. I mean, of course, I think you have to cut against the grain, with the grain, along the grain. What is it?
So there is a lot. I mean, against the grain and with the grain is something that we really push for in the Meatery. So cutting meat is about knowing the structure of the meat, the nature of the meat itself. And the difference between a chuck roll and a ribeye is just one slice of meat. One slice of a knife.
gonna
Yeah.
need you to tell me more about all of that because my goodness, I'm drooling. I'm drooling. But we were gonna take this conversation onto Facebook Live. Guys, tune on into Facebook Live. Learn all you can about meat, especially from the experts right here on the Brightside. Yeah, guys, what is up?
1FM 91.3. Good times,
Carol,
greatest
I am
hits.
keeping score. Everybody.
The Brightside with the
Carol's
very...
got a lot of meaty puns,
Yes.
beefy
Yes.
puns. So
Yes.
she's
Winning
down
so
to
far.
4 already. Oh, well, all of you also want to join in, is
Yes.
it? Okay,
Oh,
I set
okay,
up
okay. What are
scoreboard.
your meat?
Carol.
What are your meat jokes? Like the first thing you say. Oh, okay, yeah. It's like comedians, right? Tell me a joke,
Yeah,
and then they look at you like,
I'm funny.
I'm looking at one. Whoa.
Aye! Actually, that's quite good. That's quite good. I was going to say, shall tell you a joke. Look at my face.
I'm rip rolling with
Then you
it.
laugh.
I'm rip rolling with it. Okay, okay.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I got
plus
it, I
one.
got it.
No,
Plus one.
we're chatting with Renga and Sophina from the Meatery and telling us how you can't just anyhow cut meat.
Yep.
I mean, come on, seriously. What is the ribeye and the
Chuck roll you're mentioning
What's a chuck
on air.
roll?
Yeah.
Is that a chuck guy rolling or what's a chuck roll? No, honestly, I thought I knew my
But on
meat,
the
but
track.
you're proving me wrong today. Like I feel very ignorant.
We should sign you up for our beef masterclass.
There's a
What
beef
is that?
master class.
Okay, I need to know what's that first.
So we actually hold like this beef appreciation class where we take you through like from nose to tail, each of the cuts, what technique you would be using for each cut, and then we let you try. So basically the notion is that even between couples, you've got different taste preference, right?
Yes.
So for example, you might be a grass-fed, you might be a green.
I like a
So we
different
break
part of
it
the
down.
body. Yeah.
Exactly. So we break it down to what kind of origin, what kind of marbling score is your preference, and then we let you
wow.
taste each one.
So
So, it's
you-
like a blind taste test.
Yeah, so you get
Wow.
to try different cuts, like secondary cuts versus
Nice.
primary cuts.
Yeah.
You get to try different breeds as well. And it's all
Correct.
about learning as well.
Different breeds. Oh my god.
So what is Angus versus Black Angus? What's the difference? What's F1 Wagyu?
Okay. okay.
F1, he drives a sports car
true,
into
true.
the butchery.
But before I really need to know, when you cut against the grain or with the grain, what is the main difference?
Okay, so this is where I come in. All right, we always advocate cutting against the grain for the final cut before you eat it. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason being is that muscle fibers are strong, especially
Okay.
a cow's muscle fibers. They're always eating. They're always moving around. So while the human teeth is sharp, it's not sharp enough to cut through fibers.
Okay.
So what you want to do is have the knife do the work for you.
Right.
Kind of do the work of chewing for you. So when you cut against the grain, you're left with little tiny pieces of meat instead within the steak itself. So you don't have to have the tough. You don't need to go through
You
the,
need to
the
chew so
toughness
hard
of
lah,
chew so hard.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, don't judge me, okay, guys. But I still don't understand. I can't, like, I look at the beef, I'm like, I'm going to try and cut this against the grain, but I realize I identified the grain wrongly.
What
any
does
tips
it
on
look
that?
like? What is
Yes.
the pattern of the grain?
Yes.
What should I look out for?
I think just come for the masterclass, lah.
Yes, come for the
okay,
masterclass.
masterclass is like 1 afternoon, 3-4
So we
hours.
usually
Be
hold
prepared
it
to
in the
eat.
evenings.
Oh.
So there are 3 segments. The first part is where Renga takes you through like the theory part of it, and then the second part we go through the taste test.
Oh, hello.
And then the third part is a dinner. So we end off with like a meaty
I can
dinner.
see pictures. The grain is like the long striations
Correct.
of the meat that you get
Long
across
stripe.
the length of the steak.
So I must cut that
Against
long
means
thing.
you cut.
perpendicular to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you
max,
never cut with, right?
perpendicular.
Never
you never
cut.
cut width for the final cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't want to call it lengthwise. You want to call it like width.
You're cutting perpendicular to the grain. Yes.
Yes.
think I
Perpendicular is a good
That
word.
is
I like
perpendicular.
No, never mind. I think
So
better I go
Soph
for
is even
masterclass.
showing
Yeah.
what perpendicular is to
Square root,
you.
you know,
Grain.
you do the vote.
You know, there's a reason why I'm a DJ and I came from advertising because you know my geometry, my maths. That's why I married my husband
that's me
Gavin.
too,
He's in
yeah.
banking. He's very good at maths. Please lah. What's this perpendicular? T-junction. Okay,
same.
T-junction.
Yes.
He does the
she already
math, I
did the
don't.
pattern.
Yeah, see?
Like the L.
It
you
looked
know,
like
the-
sailboat, that one.
Oh my goodness.
Flagpole? Okay. I'm revealing too much about what I do not know. Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Win a prize. Describe perpendicular. $100 audio house voucher. There you go. How's
I
that?
love that my co-hosts, they don't give no chance. They call me out, man. They're like, girl, you need to better your maths. Yeah, like, I have 3 sons. I better my maths. Alrighty, so there's this master. How often does this masterclass happen?
We hold it once a month.
Hey. And so there's dinner, so come hungry, huh?
Yes,
Oh wait,
exactly.
the masterclass comes with food?
Yes,
Yes,
girl.
yes, it's a
Oh,
huge,
nice.
like, dinner.
Sorry, just up the ante.
You have,
I'm
like,
paying
meat
attention. I'm paying
sweats,
attention.
you know, you have
Because you
meat
said
sweats
class.
after
It's a
that.
bad word.
I know. We try to make
I
it
don't
fun.
like class. Master something else can. Master meat. Meat mastery.
I like that.
That's the next one. Yes.
Mystery.
What? No.
Do you all have mystery meat? Like you go to, okay, you're butchers, right? Have you ever been to like a restaurant, you eaten something and you don't know what meat it is? It's a mystery meat.
Wait, hold that thought. Tell us that story on air. Guys, tune in to us on the Brightside on 1FM. She's laughing. It must have been really mysterious, this meat. And there you have it, one of my karaoke songs. Yes, Are You Going to Be My Girl? Jet here on the Brightside. Good morning to you. And of course, we are talking to Sophina and Renga, the founders of the Muslim-owned butchery, the Meatery. I love everything about it, you know, like how you've done the store layout, what you can get at the store. We're going to run into that just a bit because it's important. You just did a video on Instagram about, you know, people, about cuts, common cuts, everyday cuts you can get at the Meatery. But first, you asked that important question.
Yeah, because you guys run a butchery, right? Have you ever been out to a place and you've eaten and you can't quite identify the meat? It's like mystery meat. What is it?
Oh, Lord.
I think it's not so much mystery meat, but when they tell you it's a certain cut, and then when we eat it, we're like, no, it's not.
Oh.
And then we try to call out the waiter. Always just like, you know,
Like, was it here?
dumb.
Was it
Yes,
here or
it's
was it overseas?
It's here, and then, you know, sometimes it's very telling when the waiter may not necessarily be well versed in the cut, and so they're just like regurgitating, and we're like,
Yeah,
no,
because
it's
you
not.
guys are the pros now. I mean, you know, you're all about the meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it hard to get to that stage, like to become so well versed in meat? I mean, does it require, you know, years of experience, you know, lots of training, hours of training?
It did. From the start, I think it was a bit tough because we're being in an industry where we have not.
Sorry.
Oh, Renga gets 1 point.
It was a bit tough.
1 point for meat puns. Yes, we're taking score on meat puns, everybody. Carol's in the lead with 5, Renga
Please
with
help
1.
me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of learning on the job as we go along as well, learning about meats. And the good thing about it is that the industry, while being small, they are very helpful. They're very willing to teach you things.
That
Like
is
the way
very
market butcher taught me
nice.
about different cuts, different things. He was very judgy. I have to say, very old school butcher. Grumpy
Judgy in
old-
what sense? With your
It's
knife
like,
skills or
with my
like?
knife skills? And are you sure you don't do this? Why are you wearing your shirt in
He's
the market?
forgetting the context. He actually came to the market in a shirt.
In a shirt. I was from
office shirt.
advertising. like,
Oh, what were you
It
thinking?
was
Trying to make a
work.
good
During
impression.
lunchtime.
Work.
Oh,
Yes.
First day at the office.
good thing it wasn't with the jacket in tow.
Yeah, so very, very,
And your
very,
leather shoes in a wet market.
Yeah, sneakers are advertising a bit cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Yes. They're either dapper or really cool.
Yes. So yeah. So I mean, they're very, all very willing to help. Even wholesalers and butchers and all, they're very willing to help, and they'll give you tips and tricks and all that on how to cut meat and teach you some knife skills you didn't know about.
What's a
and-
trick? Share with us a trick that we can take home and try ourselves.
Have a sharp knife.
It's true.
Does that count as a meat pun?
Yes,
people,
that's
people overlook the need for a sharp knife.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you see, like, you know, we get a lot of videos that people send to us when they've cooked it.
They're
and then
sawing
you see
through.
they're sawing through the knife. You're like, oh.
And then your heart is just breaking like
yes.
piece
When
by
you see the meat
piece.
tearing, it's painful. And
So
a lot
that's
of
the tip.
accidents. Yes, that's a big tip
Have a
because-
sharp knife.
Yes, a lot of accidents happen because you don't have a sharp knife. Yes.
It's actually the worst tool you can have in the kitchen, a blunt knife.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Oh, but
Because you put in
sharpening
too
tools
much
also.
effort to cut, and then there's a high probability of you actually using too much force on your finger.
How sharp are your knives, Carol?
Quite
I better
sharp.
go and check mine, huh?
Jamie Oliver says it's sharp. My knife is Jamie Oliver. I know some chefs frown on it, but like, you call that a knife? I'm like, yeah, it's very sharp.
Okay. As long as it's sharp. Great tip there. So, yeah, I saw your recent videos. It was all about everyday cuts that are available at the Meatery. Can you take us through what we can get at the Meatery? Because it's not just about meat. You've also got like all the condiments and everything.
Yeah.
Run us through it. Services as well. Do you do aging?
Yes, we
Oh,
do. So we've got lots of steaks. We've got a new line of charcuterie that's halal. So we've got halal guanciale. We've got beef bacon that we do in house, pastrami, turkey ham that we smoke with lychee wood.
Wow.
I noticed you came empty-handed today. I'm frowning at you.
I know, but
I
you don't
frown.
have a freezer or a chiller here.
Studio is quite cold.
I don't know if it'll last that long, for it to be placed in the freezer. We'll just inhale it.
You got picante sausages. I'm just looking at your website,
yes,
the
so we
meatery.com.
make our own
Yes.
handmade sausages,
Wow.
and we make sure that they're nitrate free.
I need a moment. Japanese A5 Wagyu sausage. Wait, what?
Excuse me?
I've never seen that in a... What? You haven't had it in a while.
Well, no, we do. It's
sold
melts in the
out.
mouth.
You make these.
We make this. So everything that you see on the website is something that we make in-house. So we've got a great team working with us who are chef trained,
Yeah.
and they're learning butchery skills and very good butchers as well. So they're all from Culinary Institute of
CIA.
CIA, correct.
There's a
What's
slight
CIA?
ache in my heart.
Culinary Institute of America.
Oh, right.
Not the Secret Service from
Yeah, not that
Chief
one.
Investigator of Animals. The CIA. Are you cutting
Does
the
that
meat right?
count as a meat pun? Yes,
maybe.
Okay, I give you plus 1 point.
I know, but you had me at Japanese A5 Wagyu sausage. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and remember, all those were made in-house
Yeah.
and with a sharp knife.
So actually, we've got a new range that we're launching for
Excuse
National
me.
Day.
Tell us.
Which we're really, really excited
Chickens from
about.
Singapore.
Well, yes. So, so we've got a range that we like to call sausage fun pack because
Sausage fun
'cause,
pack?
National Day you
Oh.
also get a fun pack.
I think I like this fun pack more.
So the flavors are chicken rice, lamb biryani.
in the what?
We've got rendang, beef rendang. What else do we
Buah
have?
keluak.
Buah keluak beef and and laksa.
You what?
Is this available now?
We are making it available this weekend.
Okay.
For how long? For the whole month of August, is it?
We're until sold out lah.
Until
'Cause it's
Levy buys it all
limited
up.
edition.
Hey, I
There's
do
only
that,
so
no?
much our sausage sorcerer can churn out,
And then the guy next to him is like, hey, where's my chicken rice? I bought to work today. Where's it gone? Chicken rice, lamb biryani. Sorry, what's it again? The biryani?
lamb
nasi-
biryani, beef rendang.
Buah keluak beef.
Laksa.
Come on. I
Yes.
mean, that is
Yes.
like, yes.
Yes,
Hello.
exactly. So you know how like sausages, you always find a lot of Western flavors. So we just wanted to infuse that.
Localize
Imagine
it.
if your
Hey,
local hawker
clever.
food was, fine dining in that sense. Yeah.
We're going to talk more about this. I need to know all the details. Actually, you know what? I'm placing my order. I want 3 sets.
Okay, we joke for you.
Yeah, you choke for me.
I
Three
take tissue
sets. Hey, really? Hey,
What? I give you tissue paper.
no, she put tissue paper to
Yeah.
choke for
Oh my
me
God.
on the sausages. Yes.
Not meat bun lah, but it's bun.
Yeah, not quite.
It's local. It's local.
Okay.
You want to chop, not choke.
You want to chop up. There she goes. She's just on a roll. So one more to Carol. Renga, we have faith in you. I think Sophina and me, we sit this one out now. We let you battle it with Carol.
Yes,
It's all about
on
meat
that
puns.
joke,
I'm
please.
keeping score.
Yes,
Okay.
the slice of life when it comes to meat.
Well, we are going back on Facebook Live. Remember, chime on in, comment in, and it might just win you this $100 Audio House voucher where you can pick up, really great electronics, toys, even groceries. So join us on Facebook Live here on the Brightside.
Yes, I would like to get to know this Wagyu Japanese A5 sausage a little bit
Hung up
better.
on it, ah.
No, it looks amazing.
You want to try the
Yeah.
picante one? Can you take spice?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
I sambal belacan to the max. Got
You must
Oh,
try the
wow.
picante.
Guys, can I just tell you this hack that I came across when I was young? Somerville, the condo, they had a pool. Then next to the pool, there was a cafe. And this lady, right, she just took the supermarket sausage and she sliced it, right? She put the sambal belacan inside the sausage and then put in the hot dog with a slice of cheddar cheese. Oh my
With
God.
$1.50.
Best $1.50 in my life. Yeah.
No, I'm sure
Okay, I
now
must
with
try that.
inflation, maybe
With sambal
$6.
belacan.
But that's a good
Sambal
idea.
belacan. Okay, I must try that. Yeah,
That's kind of
the
close to
history
the-
behind the picante. Is
Yes.
that
Yes.
when we started the chili sausage, a lot of Malays said, "Tak pedas lah."
Oh my
you
God.
you say it's spicy, but it's not spicy.
You sambal
Come on.
belacan them, sure kena.
So we said, you know what, challenge accepted.
Wow.
And so we put in capsaicin extract, which is
Oh.
1 million Scoville.
Oh God. Okay.
One
1
million?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
very-
it's going to
that's hot.
burn.
That is hot.
It's
Very,
going to
very
burn in the way in and on the way out.
Yes.
Oh.
So it was so hot that we only packed 2. And then we initially wanted to pack it with toilet roll, but we're like,
That's funny. That's so funny.
but during COVID,
Do
not enough
it.
toilet roll.
Oh.
That's hilarious. So
And-
how's it doing?
It's held up very fast. So we have to make them in limited quantities because of how it's made as well and what the ingredients go into it. Like my sausage sorcerer literally has to wrap up his hands up to his elbows.
Wait. You just came up with, that's a great phrase. Sausage
So that's
sorcerer.
his actual title.
It's his actual title.
On
So-
his name
Who
card.
bestowed this onto the sausage
Let
sorcerer?
him choose it himself.
Oh my God, I love that.
Our
Anyone a
head
knight?
butcher is Meat Wizard.
Meat.
Are y'all hiring? I feel like I could work
I'm
there.
going to count that
Come
as
out
your
with
meat
title.
pun.
We are looking for
Plus
interns.
2 points. And what is the intern called? Intern. You are just intern.
Meat slave, meat slave.
Meat slave.
Meat slave.
Ooh.
Sophia, you get 1 point finally.
Ooh.
Carol is still in the lead at 7. Renga has
Yes.
3 now. Sophina 1 and I got
Do you go
0.
up to people when they're slacking? Wagyu doing?
Oh Lord,
the time.
Carol +1.
Wagyu doing? Huh?
Die already.
Do your job.
Die already. What you can't see is Joel, our producer, in the studio,
rolling
and
his
he's just shaking
he
his
hates
head.
puns.
Yeah, he hates puns.
He's a black Angus. Or black face Angus.
Back face. +1. Ayo, stop it,
I
girl.
still love
There's
you,
only so many
tenderloin.
points I can give. Oh, love me 10. Oh, +1 to you. Yes. Okay. So
What
tell
did you
us-
say? Love me tender.
She said,
The
yeah.
loin.
Love me
Love me
tenderloin.
tenderloin.
Ay, +1, another one. Okay.
Okay, you guys not allowed to leave. It's too much fun.
Okay, we got more questions.
Plus you have meat, so.
Now, tell us this, okay? What do you want the general public to know about meat? Be it the cut, when they're shopping for meat, when they're cooking it at home. Maybe just one takeaway from each of you. One thing you want people to know, move forward in life with. Cannot say sharp knife, you already said.
Okay, don't be afraid of fats.
Girl, you preaching to the choir here.
flavor.
Oh, yeah. Give me some full cream anytime.
I mean, butter.
Oh,
right?
I'm a butter bandit.
Exactly.
High five. I love you.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are afraid of fats. They see it and like, I prefer.
So do
I'm
you-
watching my diet.
Do you
and all
gasp
that.
at them when they go, can you cut out the Get out of my store now! Is that how it goes? You
Pretty
should
much, yeah.
though.
Yeah, I should.
If they're looking for lean meat or if they want something well done, they're not allowed in. No.
Or maybe
Yeah.
just go for the chicken.
Actually, no, that's a good one. A lot of people when they come in, they're like, so what sauce should I have this with? And we're like, oh,
Oh my
'cause,
god.
like, I mean, if the meat is good, it's
You don't need
flavorful.
it.
Yeah,
That's
true.
true. You need
That's
to drown
true.
it in sauce, right?
That is very, very true. Or even,
Yeah.
like a butter. Some people, they serve it the steak
The
with butter.
compound butter.
But I feel that if it's so good, right? Just a
Yes.
little bit of salt,
Yes.
and maybe a little bit pepper.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's my takeaway actually.
Oh, she stole it from
less
you.
less is more.
Less is more.
Just salt. People ask me for what kind of seasoning. Do I do a Cajun rub? Do I do a smoky pepper rub, etc.? Or no, you just need salt and pepper. A good piece of meat just needs salt and pepper,
Okay.
and then a bit of salt after you finish cooking it. That's it.
I have a question though.
Yes.
I always tend to under or over salt my steak when I'm cooking it. How do you, get
You need
Get
to
it
speak
right.
to the person whispering to you in your ear.
this way, but
You know how that your grandma whispers to you.
no, but I
to
don't know.
dial in.
Sometimes it's under, sometimes it's over. Then how? So I try to do under because I feel like then never mind. You can put a little bit more salt.
Yes. So go for under when you're cooking it.
Okay.
But ensure there's a nice layer on the steak itself.
Okay.
That gives you a very nice crust. That's a little
A
tip.
nice
that-
layer.
Yes.
Like really, you can
A
see
nice
it.
thin layer, because that thin layer of salt gives you a very nice crust for your steak. And then once you cut into it, let it rest, cut into it, and then you'll salt it after.
Okay.
That elevates the flavor further.
We are going to take this conversation on air for the last time as we talk about what is the most underrated or overrated cuts of meat here on the Brightside.
Memorize that number.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That wasn't me singing. Yeah. We move on. Okay, just so everyone knows, we are talking to Renga and Sophina, the co-founders of Muslim-owned Butchery, the Meatery. And right now, the meat pun score in the studio is Carol at, let me see now, 5. No, 9. 5
Yeah,
plus
thank
4 is
you.
9. Sorry, I told you I'm a DJ. I'm not good at math. Stop it. Also, coming next is Ranga with 3. Well done, my man. Sophina, 1. So at least you can leave here with some pride.
Scattered
No, but at least you got
applause.
4.
Okay. Scattered applause.
None from me. I'm just a bit busy right now.
We're talking about all things meat, and of course, so nice to meet you.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
stop it, Carol. That's a full 10.
Yay! And that's just me, not the meat. Most underrated and overrated cut of meat.
Yes.
What do people usually ignore, but it's actually so good? I always hear this flank steak business. What is it?
Okay, so let's talk about the overrated cuts first. The two cuts that we feel are very overrated would be the this could cause some controversy, but it would be the tenderloin.
Okay.
The tenderloin we feel is one of the most overrated cuts.
Okay.
While it's extremely tender, but it's also very expensive, and because it doesn't do much work in the kettle, it's just a little piece hanging out in there. it doesn't give you much flavor. So the tenderloin is one thing that is a great vessel for sauces, we feel. Salt and pepper does not just cut it for a tenderloin. So if you're looking for something tender, there are a lot of other things you can do to a piece of meat to make it tender.
Oh, like what?
And
pray tell.
Cutting across the grain.
He's looking at me directly.
Sous vide.
Sous vide, yes. Sous vide definitely one of them to actually tenderize the meat as well.
Okay.
And using the right marinade. The other piece of meat that we feel, the other cut that we feel is very overrated is the tomahawk.
But it looks nice,
But
lah.
people
It looks
pay
good.
so much money for that.
Yes, because it looks good on the camera.
Instagram.
It does,
Instagram,
it
yeah.
does.
So it's basically a ribeye with a very long piece of meat.
The name also quite shook.
A long piece of bone, actually.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
The name is quite short.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you can pretend.
I know, right?
It's what carrying. Yeah, it's a great Instagram piece, but it doesn't much add value to your steak. You're actually paying for the bone.
Okay.
At the Meatery, we actually don't sell tomahawk.
You've made that stand.
Yes, we don't sell a tomahawk because that piece of bone from the tomahawk is actually what makes the short rib.
Okay.
So we rather sell that bone-in short ribs.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
uh-huh.
So we don't waste that. Yeah.
As a side note, before you go into the most underrated cut of meat, right? You should have like a big sign that says like, you will be told to get out of the shop if you do this, you ask for this and that. Hey, do that. It's
should, we
hilarious.
should,
Okay,
we should,
okay.
yeah.
So now we move on to what is the most
mental note.
underrated cut of meat in your opinion?
Okay, one of the most underrated cuts, yes, the flank steak, the skirt family is fantastic flavor. They do a lot of work. So if you look at the muscle fibers, they're quite thick because they do a lot of work. Part of the muscle structures and all that, but they're full of flavor. Full of flavor. Best done when it's medium rare to medium. If you go beyond, it's a bit chewy. So that's where people get it wrong. Get it medium well, it gets a bit chewy. One thing to do to kind of address that is where your marinades come in. So having the right marinade to tenderize the meat would be fantastic. Tropical fruits are a great tenderizer.
Oh.
Papayas, pineapples, limes are great tenderizers of meat.
Papaya.
So but don't do it for too long. Half an hour to 45 minutes to an hour is enough.
Yeah.
How do you,
If you
how do you
actually-
marinate with papaya?
You mash it into a pulp. Lah.
And then you spread it on the
but,
meat.
but
and
normally
you
we
leave
use
it.
citrus fruits though.
Yeah.
So like your lime juice or orange juice or like
Can
a
you use
carne
both
asada.
together? Because
Yes,
papaya
so
and lime
in-
go good, you know what I mean?
It's like a cocktail in a meat.
You are onto something there.
Mind
Speaking a
blowing.
language. now.
So yeah, so with these tropical fruits, short is enough. That sounds wrong, but yes.
A short marinating time of like just
is enough,
30.
yes. Like
'Cause
30
if you
minutes
do
to
it
an
too
hour.
long, it turns grey.
But it's
turns
good to
grey,
know you
turns
have
to
no
mush.
height discrimination there.
Yes.
But, you know, okay.
Inclusive like that.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so that flank steak. How, Carol? Are you convinced?
I've had good flank steak. Like, Renga says, it's got to be prepared the right way. If not, it does taste a bit sus. But yeah, when it's done right, oh my goodness, it's actually a cheap cut of meat.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
It's affordable.
It's very
Yeah.
affordable.
You
So
don't need to wagyu all the time.
you don't need wagyu. You don't need a
I
prime
actually
cut
love
like.
the skirt over the flank.
Yeah.
To be honest, so the flank I use it for like a stir fry because you know you can. It's a very thin cut, so it has a very quick cooking time.
Yeah.
But the skirt is amazing.
Ah.
I
With the
have
carne asada.
one last question for you. So we all know that, the best way to enjoy steak is like medium rare, right? But what about those people who really can't take the sight of the blood? How are we going to help those guys out? We're being inclusive here.
Okay. So,
Anything that can be done, or like just get out of the shop. Get
so
out.
you will have relatives or friends who have to take well done.
Yeah. Then how?
We can't exclude them from the party. So you don't
we
need.
have
Or could
to-
we?
Yeah. Do we have to have them there? I mean, not necessarily.
If it's if it's someone's partner, you have to no choice. But in any case,
boo,
so the
just
two
boo.
cuts that are
Your
forgiving.
in-laws, no choice.
Cuts that are forgiving.
Cuts there for. I give you 1 point for that, Renga.
So there are cuts that are forgiving even when you're well done. One of them being the tenderloin, but it's very expensive. It's the most expensive cut of meat. The other cut and one of the most underrated cuts is the flat iron. So the flat iron is actually the second most tender part of the cow, but not many people know it. Not many butchers sell it because it takes a lot of processing,
But you
butchering.
do.
But we do. We do the
Where
flat
is
iron.
the flat
Known as
iron?
The
feather
flat
blade.
iron is actually part of the chuck, the shoulder part of the cow.
Ah.
So they call it the feather blade in the UK.
Oh,
they call it the
yes.
flat iron in the US.
Ah.
So very tender piece of meat, very beefy flavors, and it's tender even when it's done well done. And it's a value cut. It's like 1/3 the price of a tenderloin.
Okay. So those 2 cuts that you mentioned are really great, even when you'd go up to like, well done.
Well done,
It takes
or-
The
it
third
really
one
well.
Well
would be
done,
Wagyu
congratulations,
right?
yes.
I mean, if you have something that's Wagyu, then there's a higher chance that it will be less dried up.
Oh,
you've
because of
got
the
the
fat
marbling.
content.
correct.
Okay, so those are 3 cuts to look at for, those in your life that can only do well done, and you can tell them well done.
Well done.
Hey, I got 1 point. 1 point.
Time to wrap up.
Yes. Wrap up. Okay, I'll give you another point. All right. So the final score is Lavinia at 1, Sophina at 3. Well done, girl.
Not bad, not
And Renga at 4. Not bad. So you can count it as you got 7.
Okay,
Okay.
yes.
Couple effort. But Carol, on a roll, girl. 11 meat puns.
Why, thank you.
Give that girl some meat.
Meet the champion.
No, we stopped counting already.
okay.
Before you go, can you tell everyone how we can, give us the store details, give us the website detail, your Instagram details. Hit us up.
Okay, so on our website, it's www.themeatery.sg. And then you can also look at our Instagram, which is themeaterysg.
Okay.
So we're also on TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah, they've got really good videos that really help to educate, really enlighten people about various things with meat, even with like knives and all that. I think you had a recent session with another of our guests. Hopefully, we're going to bring them in over the next few months. Kitchen tools. Yes. Ben. Yeah. Alrighty. So, remember, if you missed this telecast, head on over to our Facebook. You can catch the video up there as well, or even on the audio app, our podcast on this great interview with Sophina, Renga. Thanks for joining us here on The Brightside.
you for having
Thank you
us.
very
Here's
much.
the Thompson
Lay your
twins.
hands on their meat. The Meatery.
Good times. Greatest hits.